please stand to your feet as we receive a champion for justice, our United States Senator, Jon Ossoff. Good morning. Good morning. It is such an honor to be back at Big Bethel on this hallowed ground. Thank you, Pastor Jay, for that kind introduction. Where did the First Lady go? Thank you, First Lady Michelle. And good morning, Big Bethel. It's an honor to be back. I am grateful this morning for life. I'm grateful for my family and the breakfast that we shared this morning. I'm grateful for the roof over our heads. And I'm grateful to be here with all of you and for the honor of representing you as your United States Senator. First, please, would every veteran, every military service member, every military spouse and dependent please rise to be honored by all of us in gratitude for your service. Thank you. Thank you. Now, first, I will affirm what you can all clearly see. You can see it, right? Our nation is afflicted and in crisis. Americans losing insurance in the middle of chemo, hospitals closing down services to fund tax cuts for the very wealthiest people, masked federal agents profiling, brutalizing, and killing American citizens. And maybe amidst all the cruelty and the chaos, you start to feel a little doubt, and you start to wonder whether our republic can survive it. A government transformed into a tool of one man's vengeance and enrichment. A spiritually broken president who digs the moral pit deeper and deeper. But Pastor, Proverbs says, whoever digs a pit whoever digs a pit will fall into it. And Scripture is full of kings brought low by their own arrogance. Ahab surrounded himself with 400 yes men, false prophets paid to affirm the king's delusions. And those delusions led him to his defeat. And among today's false prophets are the election deniers, who indulge this president's obsession with overturning the 2020 election. Now, hear me when I say this. They tell a lie so absurd and therefore so debasing to tell that the act of telling it proves the teller's total and humiliating submission. Just consider that the sitting Attorney General of the United States and the Director of the FBI refused to accept Trump's defeat in the 2020 election, an election he lost by 74 electoral college votes and 7 million popular votes, the widest margin of defeat since John McCain in 2008. Just think about that. And since now they're wielding the power of state to rewrite history, we have to remind everyone that Trump didn't just lose Georgia. He lost Arizona. He lost Michigan. He lost Nevada. He lost Pennsylvania. He lost Wisconsin. And then he tried to cling to power, tried to intimidate Georgia officials to find him more votes, ginned up a mob that tried to hang his own vice president, and today still obsesses over his shame. So he sent them to Fulton County to seize your ballots on a pack of lies. Now, why Fulton? Well, in part for the same reason this president posts videos that depict Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. See, the power of black voters and the fact that the power of black voters ejected him from office may outrage him more than the defeat itself.
That's right, that's right, that's right. That's what it is.
And so he tries to delegitimize your exercise of power. And now with elections approaching, he tries to suppress it. But how foolish of them to come to the cradle of the civil rights movement and the doorstep of John Lewis's congressional district to spread those lies and seize your ballots. How foolish to launch an attack on voting rights here at the political and spiritual center of the black history they seek to erase.
That's right.
You see, like Ahab, he's surrounded by yes men. Because if this president had wiser counsel, Pastor, they'd warn him against attacking here in Atlanta, Georgia. Because the power of the presidency is nothing compared to the power of the people. Nothing. And our answer will be massive and overwhelming. 61 years ago in Selma, when John Lewis and Hosea Williams and Amelia Boynton marched into billy clubs and bullwhips, they didn't know that their movement would succeed. 6 years ago, when Georgians took those hard-won rights and set out to elect the Jewish son of an immigrant and a black pastor who holds Dr. King's pulpit at Ebenezer Baptist Church, we didn't know that our movement would succeed. But in 2026, if this man in the White House thinks that after all that, he's going to come down here and silence the people of the great state of Georgia, he will be dealt his most resounding defeat yet. But Big Bethel, it will take a movement. Big Bethel, are you ready to move? Are you ready to move? Thank you all so much for happening. Thank you, Pastor, for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. With his remarks, I want to frame by saying this. For generations, it has been a philosophical hallmark of the Republican Party to decentralize government, to put power in the hands of the states. Who doesn't remember Strom Thurmond? States' rights. Now, however, there's a movement afoot to federalize elections and bring the power to Washington to a corrupt government rather than leaving it with the states. On Wednesday of this coming week, I will be driving out to, I forget the place in Georgia, it'll be in the GPS, but the State Board of Elections, forgive me, the State Board of Elections is meeting, and one of their agenda items is a potential takeover of the administration of elections here in Fulton County. I'm going to raise all the HELL I can, and I'm going to raise it when hell freezes over and then fight on the ice.